Hi, hello, I'm back. Happy 2024, I suppose. So, MatPat's retiring, huh? Yeah, in case you didn't see, or in case you're not aware, MatPat, also known as Matthew Patrick, the guy that created Game Theory, Film Theories, all the other channels, he is retiring from YouTube. He's still going to be doing other things, he's just not going to be hosting anymore, the theory channels. Obviously, I wasn't planning on making this video anytime soon. I don't even know if I ever thought about doing this type of video, but when MatPat announced this, I felt like I had to, because I've been watching MatPat for almost an entire decade at this point. It'll be a decade later in the year, like around October or November, something like that. You know, in 2 months' time, he will no longer be hosting all the theory channels. He'll still be on GT Live, I think he said, through the summer, but that's kind of a different thing. So I'm making a video now because I just should. So yeah, MatPat retiring. I'm gonna be so for real. I didn't see this coming. I didn't see it coming anytime soon. I noticed that MatPat was taking a few steps back from the channel. You know, there were the other hosts doing some shorts every now and then, but again, I kind of just figured that was him taking some steps back from the channel. I don't know, like that the news just kind of hit me hard because I wasn't expecting it, obviously. No one was, really. So yeah, when I was watching his announcement video, I got emotional. Well, okay, here's my thing with the announcement video, because like he uploaded that and I watched it like as soon as it dropped. I was like, what? No. You know, like I saw the title and I saw the thumbnail and the notifications. I was like, no, wait, hold on. Like, you know, I'm hoping that it was clickbait. And I started watching it and I'm getting so sad about it because I'm like, he's actually retiring, but I couldn't finish watching the video at the time because I had to go to work. So I had to drive to work and I got there and I continued watching the video, but then I couldn't finish watching it again. So I eventually, like during my break, I had to finish watching it then. And so I had like watched it in segments more or less. Not intentional, obviously. Like I said, I just had to work. So it didn't hit me as much. I mean, it did still hit me, but like not as much because I had to watch it like segmented. So I watched it again when I came home, and because I also was sure I missed a few things. So yeah, I got home and then I processed it more, and I was a mess. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was an emotional mess. Because here's the thing, this is the first YouTuber that I'm experiencing retiring. Obviously, there are other YouTubers before MatPat that have said, hey, I'm retiring from the platform or I'm taking huge steps back. In his video, MatPat mentioned Tom Scott and Papa Meat and I think a few other YouTubers. But I have not watched those YouTubers that he mentioned. So this is my first experience with a YouTuber that I watch retiring, which is a very weird experience because I guess you just don't think about it. I just didn't think that it was gonna happen. From a viewer perspective, you kind of just think, oh yeah, this is gonna go on forever. Even though that's not how that works. Like, everything ends. You want it to be the Family Guy or the Simpsons or the SpongeBob of the YouTube world, right? Where you want it to go on forever and it never ends. You want it to be like that for YouTube channels. But it's not like that. They're not gonna go on forever because they can't. Even like Simpsons and Family Guy and SpongeBob, as long as they've been around, because they've been around for a very long time, especially Simpsons, they are going to have to end eventually. At the very least, certain eras are going to end, which is definitely what is happening here with the theory channels. Because MatPat's era is ending, but the theory channels are not ending. They're going to continue on, which is, I think, a great thing. I think it's a great idea because, like, it would have been weird for them to introduce style theory, not even a full year ago at the time of recording this, and then for it to be like, okay, we're done. this channel didn't even get a full year, but you know, all the channels are ending, so that would have definitely been weird. So obviously it makes sense that they're going to continue with the channels, and it's just going to be new hosts for each separate one, which I think will be really interesting. I do look forward to it as much as it's going to pain me when MatPat actually leaves. It's just such a moment for me like I said, I've been watching MatPat and the theory channels in general for almost an entire decade. The first video of theirs I watched was, as some of you might be able to guess, was the first FNAF theory that they ever did. And I mentioned this in my FNAF video that I've watched like every theory since then, except for the more recent ones. I haven't seen some of those because I was just like, I got so burnt out on like the theories in general, and now I'm gonna have to go back and watch them. One, for completionist's sake, and two, like just to complete all the like MatPat FNAF theories. And it's just such a moment. I'm gonna say that again because it's like it really is. But that's how I started watching them, and I continued from there. It's weird with game theory, like in particular. Game theory is kind of what made me get into gaming a bit more, and so are like the other gaming channels I've watched. But game theory as well influenced me in a big way because growing up I never really played a Mario game. The only Mario game I owned and played was Bowser's Inside Story for the DS. And that's the only one I've ever had, the only one I ever played growing up, because growing up I was a bit of a girly girl, so I just didn't get Mario because that's just not something you really give to a girly girl. And I just wasn't interested either as someone that grew up as a girly girl, which I'm no longer that type of person. So honestly, it did get me interested in playing Mario and Nintendo games in general. I mean, I had basically I think every console system I've owned actually has been a Nintendo console in some way. Like beforehand, I never had an interest in Mario or whatever, but because I just got curious enough, like, to see, like, what else this channel had done, I saw that they had done, like, a lot of Nintendo and Mario theories. So I just watched those, and it got me interested in wanting to play Mario games. And Mario Odyssey was the first real Mario game that I played. I would like to play all the other ones that came before that. I think that'd be really interesting, especially as I have a Wii. I would like to get Mario Galaxy and play it on there because that was like one of their bigger and more successful ones from what I'm aware. So I just think that's really cool that they could do that for me. Like it really did expand my horizons with gaming, honestly. As stupid as that sounds, it's true. As I got into Bendy and the Ink Machine and Undertale especially, I looked forward to when they did a theory on it, or not even when they would, because there wasn't a guarantee. But I was hopeful that they was like, oh, I really hope that they do an Undertale theory. And I mean, let's face it, they did multiple, and one of them is very infamous. As much flack as the Santa's Nest theory gets, as much as it gets memed, it was cool to watch that theory when it came out. Because the thing is, I had no idea what Earthbound was when that video came out. So it kind of like informed me about Earthbound, and obviously later on I found out that like Toby Fox was a huge like fan of Earthbound, and that was like the main inspiration behind Undertale, and that was really cool to learn and to see other maybe connections. Obviously that Sans isn't Nest, but like just to see like what other connections there were between these two games was interesting. And it like I said, kind of exposed me to Earthbound because I had no idea what the hell that was. So it was just like a lot of exposure. That's the way I'd put it. My experience with the theory channels was just learning and exposing like me to other things, which is really cool. It's unbelievably cool to learn new things, to have new experiences, to find new interests. And when you find other interests on your own, it's cool to hope that your favorite channels cover it in some way. This guy and his channels, they were so influential for me. They really were. As much as everyone like has kind of joked about it online and how many people have said it. I mean, obviously I think a lot of people mean it when they say it, but he really was my childhood in a lot of ways. Not really childhood, because when I started watching him, I was like 13, but he really was. He was such a big part of my life, and he still is. He's still a big part of it. He's like what got me to start thinking more deeply about FNAF and other games in general. Like I said, he's what got me into like wanting to play more Nintendo or Mario games, because I never really had played them before. Like I said, I had Nintendo consoles growing up, but I didn't really play the Nintendo games on them. I just played like whatever other games my parents got me, like
Theory.
Again, My Little Pony, Rainbow Runaway, whatever the
Theory.
it's called. That's the game I would play in my Game Boy Advanced. Hi, editing story here. So, I didn't mention this in the video because I'm stupid, but I feel like I really should mention it. My favorite theory has always been, and probably always will be, the Rosalina two-parter, which I think MatPat has said is one of his favorite theories as well. So, we're on the same wavelength here. That two-parter just has everything, man. It's got the lore, it's got the science, it's got, the character analysis, it's got, like, plot twists. It's amazing. It's such a good theory. I also just really like that theory because, if I'm honest, I kind of have a secret love for genetics. In school, I was not good at biology, but the genetics part of biology class in high school, I was very good at that. I liked doing it. I thought it was interesting. So the fact that has genetic stuff in it just really like sells it to me at another level. Anyways, I just wanted to bring this up real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt my heartfelt video, but I had to mention it somewhere in here. Okay, back to the actual video now. So it's just like, it really is sad to see him go after all this time, after all the theories I've watched, after all the GT lives I've watched. It's really sad to see him go, but I totally understand why he's going, and I totally wish him nothing but the best. And I'm excited for whatever it is he does next. I don't know if you guys have noticed, by the way, but in like all the new videos since the first like FNAF one I did, every video, including that one since then, has had MatPat show up at some point in the video. Either I mention him or he just like shows up, the little PNG on screen, because I thought it would be funny for like every time I say theory or lore for him to just show up somewhere on screen. And my full intention was to keep that joke going for just like as long as I could, really, because I just thought it was funny. And now this has happened. But honestly, I'm still gonna
theory
and include it. I'm still gonna put that joke in the videos because I think it's funny. So even though he will be retiring, anytime that I say theory or lore, he will show up on screen. It's like a Where's Waldo? You gotta find him. So MatPat, if you just so happen to watch this, I kind of doubt you will, because I don't know, I just like don't think you would watch this video. But if you stumble across this video, whether it be the day after it comes out, whether it be next week, whether it be 5 years from now and you're watching this video, just let it be known that I will miss you and that you really mean a lot to me. But I'm so excited for what you do next, and I do look forward to everything that's going to happen with the theory channels next. And thank you. Thank you for all of it. And to come from me, but hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thank you for everything. Well, that was a fun video to make. Thank you guys for watching this video. It means a lot to me. So yeah, there were a lot of things I wanted to mention in this video. I didn't think I got to mention basically all of them. Like I said, I wasn't planning on making this video, but when MatPat made that announcement, I'm like, I have to do something, because he really was such a big part of a lot of my life at this point. Like I started watching him at 13. I'm now 22. I really do wish nothing but the best for MatPat and his family. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you hopefully sometime soon. Okay, bye.